Hi there, this is Talia the dietitian, and today I'm going to be answering one of your questions. It's a little bit of a different question because this person actually asked something about me and my family. So first one of those, let's see how it goes. I'm going to read you the question. The question is, do you ever just feed your girls something like peanut butter and jelly or mac and cheese? I like this question, and it made me stop and pause because I haven't really talked too much about my own family on YouTube. So what I will say is, yes, I do sometimes feed them those things. What I don't do is only serve them those things. There are definitely days where I am tired, I do not feel like cooking, and we do have some things in the freezer like, pre-made ravioli, or I'm trying to think of some of the other things, fish sticks or fish fingers that we have that I will just cook up that are just completely brainless, and I'm more than happy to do that. I usually don't do that more than once a week, but I understand everybody is in a different situation, and you can't beat yourself up if you don't have time to make perfect dinners every night, because that's just reality. So this is not to make anybody feel bad, it's just letting you know how I do it in my house. What I will say is that I don't serve just those things. So for example, I would never just put fish sticks on the plate and say that's dinner. As I've talked about in some of my other videos with snacks needing to have at least 2 food groups, I like to see 3 or more. Same goes for a meal. I'd like to see a minimum of 3 food groups on there. So for example, let's say it was fish sticks that we went with at dinner. If I really didn't have time and I didn't have anything left over in the fridge, I do rely on frozen veggies because they are super convenient and they never go, they do eventually go off, but you can keep them in the freezer for months and make as much as you need when you need it. So we do rely on those. They're also super convenient in that you don't have to wash them and cut them and do all that prep. So I would make something like that I can just throw in the microwave and it takes 5 or 10 minutes to cook. And with that, I would probably have something left over in the fridge, but I would like to see at least 3 food groups represented at a meal. So the answer is yes, I do feed my kids those kinds of foods, but no, I don't just serve them those sorts of foods. So always think about the different food groups, look through your fridge and see what you have. And it's okay to make, an odds and ends kind of dinner where you have, fish sticks and some frozen broccoli. You could give them some fruit as well. You could make a baked potato, something like that as well, that you could put cheese and some yogurt on top of instead of using sour cream. It's a little bit more nutrient dense in terms of protein and calcium. It's got vitamin D and probiotics, that good bacteria. So think about some of the things that you can add to a really simple meal that don't require a lot of cooking, but are still have lots of nutrients in them. There was a funny story when we were traveling. My daughter was probably about 2, almost 2, and one of my family members was making a boxed mac and cheese, which we don't really buy, I'll be honest. We would make it ourselves, but there's nothing wrong with it. In fact, I think it's delicious, and I was very excited to eat some of it. And I put some on my daughter's plate. She had her mac and cheese, and I don't remember exactly what else I had on there, but there was probably a couple of vegetables or a fruit and maybe like a piece of bread with some spread on it or something. So there were other things on there, and it was more like a snack plate with like a tasting plate with lots of different things, including the mac and cheese. And something that I did want to say in here as well is that if you are doing a meal like that, and it's okay if you do it differently, I don't believe in ruining the mac and cheese, the boxed mac and cheese, by adding vegetables to it. I'm more of the type of dietitian that would tell you, if you're really feeling like mac and cheese, eat the mac and cheese and just enjoy it how it is, and add some other things to your plate to kind of balance the meal out. But if you're really craving mac and cheese, don't make a sweet potato mac and cheese with peas and broccoli mixed into it, because that's not what you're really wanting. And for your kids as well, don't be the one who's like, we have to put veggies in everything. Serve the veggies along on the side, put them in, have a vegetable soup, have something else there to keep the mac and cheese in its pure form. And I think, my husband would definitely agree that that's the way to do it, because he's very much that purist, and he always asks me if I've dietitianed something by adding whole wheat flour to something that's not supposed to have whole wheat flour, or if I've added vegetables or grated vegetables to something that shouldn't be there, or black beans to a brownie, where if you're gonna have a brownie, just actually make the brownie that tastes really good that you like. So that's the little insight into my little home world here. So that's really what I would recommend. And I'm gonna stop there. If you found that video interesting or helpful in some way, I would love if you would subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be doing a lot more Q&As and talking about nutrition topics and food labels and all kinds of things to help you and your family eat better food and have a healthy relationship with food. So please subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. And this is Talia. Bye-bye. This parenting thing is really hard and didn't come with a manual, especially when it comes to feeding. Here are some more videos to help you.